What's going on, you guys? Happy Easter and welcome back to another video. So I checked out the movie The Curse of Llorona, the Weeping Woman. I went and saw it on yesterday, kind of late, came back home and I watched the Ten Commandments, which is something I've been watching since I was a child. And we know that the Ten Commandments run almost 5 hours. So I tried to upload this video last night and for some reason it didn't go through. I didn't re-record. I just went to bed because I was tired. So I just want to point out a few things that kind of crippled the movie and kept it from being better than what it was. So first, I just want to give you it's going to be spoilers. So I just want to give you heads up on that. I'm going to just kind of skim through the movie. I'm not going to give you scene by scene reviews, but these are my thoughts on the movie. Okay, so this is a horror film that's supposed to be like a folk tale, but some say it's a true story. So it all depends on the person. It's based on, it took place in Mexico. It's about a woman who's married. Her husband cheated. They have 2 kids together. When her husband cheated on her, she got revenge on him by killing the 2 kids that they have together. And then she felt so bad from killing her children and felt like, I guess, she didn't have nothing left. So she killed herself. So now her spirit is left behind to hunt anyone else who have kids, which didn't make sense to me. So that's the first thing that did make sense to me in this movie. Just the whole, the point of the movie did make sense. So anyway, the movie starts off in the 1600s in Mexico, but then they fast forward after she killed her kids. It fast forward to 1973 in Los Angeles. So I'm like, what? And then some say that the part of Los Angeles where the movie was filmed was at one time a part of Mexico. So that might be true. I don't know. I don't remember that part of history. I don't remember learning that in school, but it could be true. I don't know. So anyway. So fast forward to present day, like I say, 1973. There's a mother, she's a widow. Her husband was a police and he died on the force. And she's left behind with their son and daughter. Sorry for that notification. So she's a social worker. She do home visits, wellness checks to check and see if the children in the home are getting treated right or why they have been missing days of school. She goes to a home where there's a lady who has 2 small boys. She have the kids locked in a closet. She have her kids locked in a closet because these children have been seeing the curse of Llorona. And the reason we know this is because the children have the marks of Llorona on their wrists. Every time Llorona touches you, she touches you so she can forever stay connected with you and follow you everywhere you go. That's her way of hunting you, so you can't get away from her no matter wherever you go. And she does this to children. She does this to children so she can drown the children. And again, that just don't make sense in the movie. It just should have kind of build up a little bit more of the reason why she wants to kill the children, when the movie first came on. Also, the social worker, once she removes the children from the home, the mother is, I don't know, I guess the mother's place, they put her in a holding cell because, of course, she was going crazy because you're taking her kids away from her. At the same time, the social worker noticed these marks from Llorona on her kids' wrists. So she's going to automatically assume that the mother was abusing the kids. She wasn't. And, but with the kids being locked in a closet, you can kind of understand why it makes it seem like the mother is harming her kids. Again, she wasn't. She was hiding them from the curse of Llorona. So, as the movie goes forward, the children are in a child protective services. It's nighttime. They're in bed. There's security going around to check on all of the kids. Peeks inside the room with the flashlight. The kids are in bed. And one of them, they get up out of bed, leaves out of the room immediately after security walked away from their door. Now I'm wondering, why didn't the security see the child leave out of the room right after he walked away? Like it wasn't even a it wasn't even a minute before he got out of the bed and walked out of the room. That didn't make sense. Like the time frame of the movie just was kind of off. There was a lot of jump scares with the Curse of Llorona popping up and, crying. You would hear her moaning, and that's her way of um, tricking the kids into, like being curious enough to go see where's that crying coming from. And soon as you go and look and see that it's a woman, she's weeping, she's crying, and she looked like she had on like a wedding dress. And then that's when she make herself visible to you, and she latches on to your wrist. She put the mark of her spirit on your wrist. So again, that's how she attaches herself onto you in the movie. For whatever reason, and I'm wondering, like, if she already touched you, why didn't she just take that time out to go ahead and kill you? It just didn't make sense to me. So the social worker name was Linda. Her two kids, her son and her daughter, Llorona came in their home, and she got a hold to her son because he went in his little sister's room, and he thought that his little sister was hiding in her window. They got those windows where you can sit in the window. When he pulled the curtain back, that wasn't his sister. And it's like the wind of Llorona pushed him down to the floor. And then that's when she appeared coming out of the curtain, and she grabbed his arm. She put the mark of her on his arm. She put her, handprint on his arm, which marked him so she can forever be connected to him wherever he go. She did the same thing to the sister when she was out back playing with the see-through umbrella by the pool. Then she used her strength, her powers to push the umbrella into the pool, which we all knew that, the child should have known that the umbrella, if you go to the pool trying to, if you're reaching for the umbrella and it's being pushed away from you, the moment it goes into the pool, that's when you're going to reach forward and you're going to fall in the pool. And so the child went behind the umbrella. This one, Llorona grabbed her wrist, but she janked away enough to fall back. And, she lost her balance and fell back. And then she ran inside, so she was hysterical. The mom comes home and noticed that her kids just look nerve-wracked, like something had happened, like they had seen a ghost, and they did. She noticed these marks on their wrists at 2 different times and never, fully investigated what's going on with my own kids. You're a social worker. You take the time out to do these things on a daily basis. But when you notice these mysterious marks popped up on your own kids, this is when you just draw a blank and just quickly dismiss it, but you're asking what's wrong with them. Like, deep a little digger. Dig a little deeper on what's going on with your child. Even if the child seems in a state of shock, I could only imagine. The thing is, why didn't a mother, just take the children to the doctor and find out what's going on? So of course this made her look like she was an unfit mother who's been putting her hands on her kids. She even had her own job at the social services to come to her house and investigate, her family and kids and well-being and all that. They noticed the marks on the kids, and they just kind of told her to get it together because they don't want to have to take her kids from her. So then she visits a priest. It was like that night, Llorona, she made herself known in the mirror during one of the scenes where her daughter was in bed, but the doors were creaking, making that, that creaky, scary noise. Windows was whistling, the scary wind blowing noise, and just all that kind of stuff. Creaks all throughout the house. The house is pitch black dark. And then when she noticed her daughter's door is closing, she see on a mirror that the spirit of Llorona was in the mirror. And that's what the movie really started to get a bit more frightening. So it was, like I say, a lot of jump scares throughout the movie. It wasn't like straight up terrifying, but it was good scares throughout the movie. It's just a lot of things in the movie didn't make sense, and it just made them look kind of pathetic throughout the movie. Like a lot of things they did, you know, common sense would have told them to go the opposite direction. Instead, they went into the terror. They put themselves in harm's way instead of going away from it. And I know, you know, some say that makes a good horror film, and it do, but it happens just a little bit too much in this film. And so, like I say, she go to a priest. The priest, he's come from like an Annabelle film, so we automatically know that this has something to do with the Annabelle franchise. And he advised her to go to this other guy who's like a spiritual healer. She goes to this other guy. He comes to the house and helps her to kind of like put a barrier around the house. To he puts down like these holy ashes and stuff like that. And he even had like the tears of Llorona. He anointed the tears so that if she come anywhere near the family, that she wouldn't be able to cross that line to touch them, to harm them. But in one scene of the movie, again, which didn't make sense, they made the little girl go outside to get her doll during the time that they had put the barrier around, but they just so happened to forget to put the barrier around the back door. It just was a lot of hit and miss in this movie. And, you know, it was a short film. It's like an hour and 33 minutes. It could have been a little longer, and they could have changed some of the scenes in the movie. To me, that's just my personal opinion. I love horror films, and that's the only reason why I'm doing this review, because I don't really do movie reviews anymore. But when it's a good horror film, something that I never heard of, and I have never heard of this, but I started to Google it and just reading online and some YouTube videos about the real curse of Llorona, better known as the Weeping Woman. I've seriously never heard of it. But like I say, it's a good movie. I pushed it to a C minus. I give it a C minus, and I was kind of pushing it to that because I really wanted to just give it a D. But I had to look at the fact that it's some good acting. It's good acting. It's good sound effects in the movie. Good jump scares. And yeah, the only takeaway from the movie is that they didn't really do a character build up in the beginning to show like why she wanted to drown other people's kids. I mean, they say that people do this in Mexico. They used to scare their kids to make them do the right thing by threatening them of Llorona is gonna get you. I don't know. But anyway, that concludes my review for this movie, y'all. Like I said, I give it a C minus. And yeah, so leave your thoughts below if you went to check this movie out. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll talk to you soon.